I chose the books for my text set based around stories of children living through the Holocaust. My inspiration for this text set was developed around my essential question: how can multicultural literature demonstrate the realistic struggles children face during the Holocaust? The books that are featured in my text set are Number the Stars, Once, Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, and The Boy on the Wooden Box, How the Impossible Became Possible on Schindler's List. Each text demonstrates what life was like for children living during the Holocaust. Number the Stars is a story told from the point of view of Anne-Marie, who is a 10-year-old girl. The story takes place in Denmark in 1943. German troops begin to relocate all the Jews in Denmark, and therefore Anne-Marie's friends, the Rosens, are in danger. Anne-Marie's family takes in her best friend Ellen Rosen and conceals her as part of their family until safe voyage to Sweden can be arranged for all the Rosens. The heroism of an entire nation reminds us that there was pride and human decency in the world, even during a time of terror and war. Once is a story that takes place in Poland in 1942. Felix, a young Jewish boy, is hiding from the Nazis in a Catholic orphanage. Felix doesn't know anything about the war and thinks that his parents are traveling to try and salvage their book-selling business. When he thinks his parents are in danger, he sets off to warn them, but ends up straight into the heart of Nazi-occupied Poland. Despite his grim surroundings, Felix never loses hope. The author takes a painful subject and expertly turns it into a story filled with love, friendship, and even humor. Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, tells the story of a 13-year-old Jewish girl and how her and her family fled their home in Amsterdam. They went into hiding when the Nazis occupied Holland in 1942. They stayed in hiding for 2 years until their whereabouts were betrayed. They and another family were living secluded in the secret annex of an old office building. They were cut off from the outside world, and they faced hunger, boredom, and the constant cruelties of living in confined quarters and the ever-present threat of discovery and death. Anne Frank's diary records vivid impressions of her experiences during this period. The Boy on the Wooden Box is the story of Leon Layson, who was only 10 years old when the Nazis invaded Poland, and him and his family were forced to relocate to the ghetto. With incredible luck, he was able to survive the brutality of the Nazis from the generosity of a man named Oskar Schindler. He saved him and his family's life by adding their names to his list of workers in his factory, a list that is known as Schindler's List. This is a memoir that is published by the former Schindler List child, Leon Layson, and it captures the innocence of the small boy who goes through the unthinkable. These novels are all connected because they demonstrate the realistic struggles of children during the Holocaust. They are not ordinary tales, but they contain the voices and stories of victims and survivors. Some texts are historical fiction, while others are nonfiction. They reveal the themes of identity and tolerance, family and friendship, fear and courage, anger and forgiveness, innocence and loss, and anxiety and hope. The application of these 4 texts aims to unveil the life and struggle of children during the Holocaust. To examine these texts critically can help students reflect upon the stories and analyze their content within a historical context. Implementing these texts will help students understand the ways in which discrimination, mistreatment, and prejudice negatively affect people. Students will also gain awareness of injustice in the world while discovering ways that they can reach out and help those around them. These texts would be suitable for students in 6th or 7th grade. I envision the class being composed of a diverse student population with students from different socioeconomic, cultural, and religious backgrounds. The reading of these texts and the aligned activities should take place over a 4 to 6 week period. Activities that can be implemented for the Number of the Stars include group discussions and journal writing. Personification is often used throughout the story. Examples from the book can be used to show students how personification helps to bring a story to life. These examples can be shown and modeled before encouraging students to write their own examples of personification. Activities that can be implemented for the book Once includes group discussions, writing opportunities, and a web quest that will allow students to explore children's stories of their experiences while living through the Holocaust. Activities that can be incorporated for the book Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl also include group discussions, mind maps, writing activities, and also an interactive web quest that will allow students to wander around the furnished spaces of the secret annex and to get to know the story from Anne Frank's diary. Activities that can be used for the boy on the wooden box include writing a memoir, just as the story is written as a memoir, and the opportunity for students to watch a video interview of the author Leon Layson, who is the youngest survivor of Schindler's List. Interdisciplinary connections include geography, which includes using a map to mark the location of the country Denmark, and to visit a website to view and understand the impact of the Holocaust through the use of animated maps. History will be included by discussing how World War II was one of the costliest and most destructive wars in history. You can begin the lesson by asking students what they already know about this terrible conflict. Students can then work in pairs or groups to choose one of the following topics listed below, research the information, and then share with the class what they learned. Language arts will be incorporated by giving students the opportunity to read and analyze the poem, I Never Saw Another Butterfly. Technology can be used by creating a book trailer from one of the books that was listed in this text set. Social studies will be incorporated by giving students the chance to find a current news article that discusses discrimination and bring the article into class for class discussion. Through this assignment, I've learned how valuable and informative multicultural literature can be when teaching about a significant event in history. The Holocaust can be an overwhelming subject to teach students, but the Holocaust literature can provide a powerful insight into the devastating reality of the unbearable and horrific injustices of that time. When selecting novels for my text set, I had a hard time deciding which ones to use. I found many great novels that demonstrated the realistic struggles that children faced during the Holocaust. Holocaust literature is a powerful informational resource that includes fiction, nonfiction, drama, poetry, and even personal diaries. It often leaves a lasting impression on readers due to the vivid imagery and relationship of the characters and events. I liked creating the text set project because I had the opportunity to discover many new texts that were unfamiliar to me that were written about the Holocaust. Creating the text set for this unit allowed me to incorporate various interdisciplinary lessons and many different reading activities for each text that can be easily implemented into the classroom.